and welcome to LinkedIn's Thought Leadership Series, a platform where we get to engage with some of the most influential leaders across our industry and directly learn from them. Today, we have with us Sandeep Anand, who's the Managing Director at Nagarro, and we also have Rahul Mahajan, who's the VP and CTO of the Digital Business Unit at Nagarro. For today's conversation, we'll be talking about how AI is transforming the business model of services industry and how companies are making a pivot from TTN model to a new outcome-based model. Sandeep, Rahul, we are super excited to have you with us. Welcome to LinkedIn. Sandeep, my first question is for you. So while we talk about this shift happening to a new outcome-based model, what do you think are the biggest drivers behind this shift? And when we say the word outcome, what exactly does outcome mean for Nagarro?
Yeah, sure. That'd be an interesting question, and uh, one of the hottest topics, that we are seeing in this industry being debated. Uh, so I just want to start by saying that this is not something new, right? And specifically for, let's say, a company like Nagarro, where a lot of our work is towards digital product engineering and related areas. We have always worked with our clients with respect to the real outcomes. Um, so give you an example. If you're building a product for a client, some of the business outcomes are always there as the key. Uh, I would say the directions in which we move. So our engineering is already tied to those outcomes. So let's say time to market, because that's one of the biggest outcome that product companies always have, and our engineering teams imbibe such outcomes already. uh, of course, the other significant part of our business is around the managed services. Again, I would say it has always been based on achieving those outcomes, right? So SLA is ensuring that we keep the uptime guarantees, so on and so forth. But AI is definitely bringing us a change, which we currently all are adopting, right? So both us, our clients at this point in time, and the change is towards, I would say, a lot more positive, because so what AI, at least in our opinion, is doing is making us more confident around what outcomes can we promise. It's making our clients define their outcomes in a much broader sense. It's bringing a lot more predictability in terms of how we can achieve those outcomes. So I think this is where the entire so-called outcome definition is changing, and hence the business models. So AI brings not only predictability in defining these outcomes, laying out these outcomes, but a significant part is how do we achieve these outcomes, and the predictability is going up even there. Right? Rahul works a lot around the agentic AI space, and that itself is bringing a lot more predictability, certainty, that can we meet these outcomes faster in defined times.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sandeep. And I really love the story where AI is bringing a lot of uncertainty, but for Nagarro, it's also bringing a lot of certainty and predictability in terms of outcomes as well. So love that.
Yeah, thank you. But we are all in this evolving space, right? Yeah, things are changing every moment this point in time. So I won't say that anybody or everybody has figured out how this thing in with certainty would happen. But as I said, it's bringing more certainty than what it used to be, and we see this improving as we go forward.
That's amazing. Rahul, question for you. Because of this change that is happening, how has it influenced your client engagement strategy? Has it influenced it in any way? And how do you look at probably leveraging platforms like LinkedIn to build a much more trusted relationship with your clients?
Right. Allow me to a little bit kind of go back to what Sandeep was saying. One, this has been in motion for us. The other big part of it is, if you look at from a more recent lens, uh, it begs a little bit of a lens in terms of how the whole thing has evolved. So we started, if you rewind a little bit back, it all started with a .com, eventually to a digital phase,
where companies not just started digitizing, but also started looking into the experience part of the application and all. And that was essentially the era 2010 to 2015 or 2018, and then came the whole clouds and all that stuff. Now, industry by and far, if you look at from a benchmarking lens, has done the groundwork, whether it's in terms of the basic automations, basic digitizations of the core systems, payroll systems, procurement systems, and so on. Those parts are sorted. Now, today, the ask from a client lens is more about how can I do better in terms of efficiency? How can I do faster? What's the value in terms of my reductions in cost? What's the value in terms of sales going up? So the questions have changed. The questions are no more, can I create a basic digitization of websites and mobile apps, booking apps and stuff. Those things are mostly sorted. We continue to do some of that also, but the industry is at a pivotal moment where the questions are also evolving, all the way from experience now completely about value. How do I 2x up my sales? How do I do 3x in my efficiencies? How do I reduce the manufacturing, production line costs, and so on? To your question, how does that changes our equation with our clients? Which means our work with our clients is not just going to be limited on providing engineering services. That remains to be a big part of what we'll continue to do and what we are doing today. But now if you have to answer these kinds of questions in terms of what's the KPI shift in my sales, what's my efficiency, we also have to be more advisors to in these kinds of processes. What part of technologies are working? What part of technologies are not going to work? What's foundational to enable some of these things? Data modernization, data consolidation has been happening for almost 2 decades now. We have gone through phases of data lakes and data mesh and so on. But on the other side, the consumption of the AI consuming these data sets is now almost expecting data to be there. So clients are asking us several things from starting a technology. What are the right things to invest in AI? There's so much happening both on foundational platforms, on PaaS. You have at big companies, they're invested in Salesforce, ServiceNow. They've invested in big hyperscalers. They're also kind of gradually moving towards some of these big foundational platforms like OpenAIs and Gemini's, so on. So one of the technology questions that come to us is, how should my architecture start looking like? Should I continue to do the data plumbing for next 5 years? Should I start thinking of these use cases? Should I design as per the AI? Am I designing as per the AI, or should I be doing something different? Is my architecture even ready for AI? Is my roadmap good for achieving these kinds of KPIs? So those are some of the technical questions, but also I'm hinting that there are now business questions coming to it. And hence, from a Navarro lens, we have to be advisors. We have to be advisors on technology. We have to be advisors on empathizing with them on their value aspirations. We have to hence go deep into their domain processes, not just as is domain processes, but also how the future of these domains are going to look like.
Like everything else, it keeps changing and fileless, and it's a journey that's just for not only for us, I think for everybody's, it's kind of just began. But you know uh, we feel that we were kind of really fortunate because we started investing and building our capabilities in AI very, very early. I remember the first setup, formal established setup for AI, we set it up in 2017, kind of. And so, we are fortunate that we have, invested in building our understanding and knowledge around AI. And that's kind of, helping us. And ever since, in our systems, we knew, we realized, of course, Gen AI just exploded it. I'll be, really lying if I said, we knew what's going to happen with us. But of course, with Gen AI coming in, it just exploded. But from that point itself, and since we were investing in this, we felt that this is a technology for the future. We were putting our hit outcomes and successes from AI and AI-enabled business as a key metric to track, right? So we had this metrics in place in terms of what's the kind of engagements we are able to get in AI in terms of their impact on our clients, of course, precise in terms of the revenue and margin uplift that it contributes, to Nagarro per se. But a very important metric was our readiness. And readiness in terms of some of the things that Rahul touched. The biggest readiness for us was the skill set of our people. Actually, our engineers, our advisors, our consultants, our managers, and kind of everybody. How fluent are they in terms of AI per se? And it's a continuous process. But an early start did help there, and that's a key metric that we track, right? In terms of how our folks are getting upskilling, all of us in 30, in getting a better understanding of AI, how to use AI better, not only in our personal use, but making a real value impact on our clients. So that's, and in fact, I would say that we did leverage LinkedIn Learning a lot in helping us in this aspect specifically. So besides, as I say, upskilling our people was, our investment in IP. Already a lot of our services are IP-led. And those investments is another metric that we track in terms of, are we creating your newer IP to provide such services to our client? Is this IP really is it resulting into better outcomes for our clients or not? And finally, the commercial metrics, in terms of how much of our business is being driven by that. That helps us to put more focus, both in terms of investments as well as promising our outcomes to our clients. So the measurements, if I may add, I don't know, when you entered our office and you were roaming around, you would have seen a big
20%.
Yeah. So, that's an outcome of, how we have been measuring our experience in this industry. So, since we have been making those conscious efforts to measure, today we are saying that we are fairly confident that we can promise to our clients a 20% productivity improvement in their businesses.
How do you see your services portfolio? You talked about it in the past as well, but how do you see the services portfolio evolving? And which are the one or two biggest areas where maximum amount of pivot or rethinking is happening at your end?
Right. So let me start with how, as you speak today, how are we in some ways kind of looking at services? Surely there's a vertical lens to this by industry, and we being fortunate enough to work with different industries, some amazing clients in all of the industries I spoke about. But from a horizontal lens, also cross-cutting lens, AI and data is a huge part of our horizontal footprint.